I am guide. I can help you.
I don't need a guide, okay? I need a miracle.
Hey guys, hello gorgeous. Part 2 of my 80s Michael Douglas, Kathleen Turner, Danny DeVito romantic adventure duology review. It's 1985's Jewel of the Nile. It's generally regarded as not as good a movie as the original, although having just watched the original, in style I might add, on a giant projector with surround sound on Blu-ray, I didn't think the original was all that great. That might be heresy for people who have seen Romancing the Stone a million times and it's one of their top 10 movies, but I thought the first one was okay and I thought this one was okay. They don't deviate much from the first one. In fact, it's so similar to the first one in my opinion, I should just tell you to go watch my review for Romancing the Stone and it'll basically be the exact same opinion of Jewel of the Nile. The first movie takes place in Colombia. This one takes place in the Middle East. So there's a bit of a setting change, but it's still like a hot foreign country that it takes place in. I completely forgot to mention Danny DeVito in the Romancing the Stone review, maybe because Danny's not on the cover. This time his role is beefed up just a little bit, and so he is on the poster. He's on the back as well. He was pretty forgettable in the first movie, in my opinion, and he doesn't do much in this one, although I did get a couple chuckles. Most notably for the things that are so inappropriate in 2017, but were totally fine and acceptable as humor back in 1985. That's part of the fun of going back and watching some of these older movies, is to see how society has changed, and a lot of the time how society has become just way too stuck up and sensitive. Danny doesn't say anything scandalous in here, but it's just a couple things that make you chuckle and go, whew, that's pushing the envelope. The movie starts out with another dramatization to one of Joan's novels, and it's schmaltzy and kind of cute. The thing that I really liked about this movie, though, is that sometimes when you get an unnecessary sequel, something that just reeks of quick money grab, and man, they really made this quick. This came out the year after Romancing the Stone. A lot of the time they don't really adhere to continuity. It might even be a completely different team behind the making of the film, a different director, different writer, maybe even different producer, and just the cast is the one that has carried over from the original. And what can happen when that happens is that the people making the movie don't know much about the first one. And so you get continuity errors, or a change in tone, a change in feel, a change in things that are important. And that's not the case with Jewel of the Nile. It does pick up a couple months after the first one, but I love the fact that they're on the boat that, spoiler, Jack gets at the end of the first movie. And it's a very, very important thing to Jack. So it's cool that we get to see him actually use it in the sequel. Now, as I said in the Romancing the Stone review, it's not a big, deep, complicated movie, but no matter what the stakes are in your movie, if you establish something as important, then that's sacred. You have to remain consistent with that. And they established in the first movie that not much was important to Michael Douglas's character Jack, but that boat was. And it remained important to him in the second movie, and then it's used as a motivator for him to get back in action. He really had no reason to get off his boat and go live another life of adventure like in the first movie, but something happens to that boat that he cares so much about, and they use what was established in the first movie to play off it in the second movie. So I like that. It actually... together, these two films feel more like one big film instead of two individual adventures. Once again, the story is all about Joan growing her confidence in herself and her abilities. And once again, Jack really doesn't do all that much. I won't give it away, but there is a pretty cool twist about the title, The Jewel of the Nile, and what the actual jewel is. I thought that was clever. I have to say, though, The middle of this movie really drags. It feels like a lot of filler in it. Being a sequel, maybe it would have been okay to go that Indiana Jones route a little bit more this time out, with more elaborate traps and mazes and obstacle courses and more dastardly villains and action sequences. But like I said, this is just more of the same of Romancing the Stone. The director is not as capable as Steven Spielberg is for high intensity action. But then again, how many directors were back in the mid 80s? Spielberg really was ahead of the pack. But like the first movie, it's a fun, kind of romantic, kind of action movie that you can enjoy with your partner or your spouse. And you can even make it a 2-evening double date night and make it a duology. I think the sum of the parts is greater than the individual parts. If you're a Michael Douglas fan, I'm sure you'll definitely enjoy watching him try to be an action star. He definitely doesn't embarrass himself doing anything in any of these movies. And if you're just a fan like I am of the 80s atmosphere, vibe of movies, hopeful, positive, fun, then you won't do wrong by watching the Romancing the Stone duology. Question or comment about Jewel of the Nile? Scroll down and go to town. And to join the tribe, hit subscribe. Nerdmaste. I can smell what that rock is cooking.